I made sure to take 5 minutes to set up my little space. That was it.
I love it. Well, I got spaces all over. I just didn't know what I was going to do with you because I seriously want to play with you. Like I got men, we can make swords. We're playing. We got
Ooh.
all you want. I got blacksmiths. I got all
Oh,
the
fun, fun.
I have a crown. I love you. First of all, dude, thank you. Like genuinely thank you. I love you. Like I appreciate you. Like I love you. There's more like you. I can introduce you. Like first of all, I love you. Like I'm gonna get my hands on you. I'm gonna give you a big hug. You got any you got any pains you got? I'll release them. Like I'll bring you food. I
I
just
mean, I did get rear-ended with that car accident. No pun intended, but yeah, lower back, neck. It's been real
oh,
stiff. I've had
I
a
got
chiropractor come in 3 times a week, and he's got a little massager deal, and then we do the TENS machine and whatnot. But you know,
I
other than
got
that, try to find a massage chair whenever I see one.
uh,
Jump in.
okay, I got you. Back pain, shoulder. I am a master at that. I didn't say anything. Don't tell your
Uh huh.
doctor.
Don't tell your doctor. It's
But
okay. They're gonna stick me in an MRI machine soon. The insurance is paying for it, and once we get above $4,000, then it opens up a new side of the claim, and then I can make money. Like I can get paid from it. So I don't know if you knew this, but when you get in a car accident, injury lawyers are free. They get paid by the insurance. You don't have to put any money up front. And throughout the whole process, if you all of a sudden, like, you never have to pay a dime out of pocket, and they'll help you with all the health coverages and help you get all the stuff you need. And so, like, take advantage of that because insurance companies are shifty and they're constantly trying to stay out of money. Um, when I was doing storm restoration door to door, looking for hail, looking for wind damage. I was slaying insurance dragons out there for people, and I would literally use that story. I would tell people, I'm like, these insurance companies are shifty. They're gonna keep their money. They're hoarding money like dragons, and I'm out here. I'm slaying them for you. So hire me, and
for
it would
real,
work. Believe it or not.
what do you do besides be a vampire slayer out in the world? Like what do you
Well, I just got back from driving his kids home from school. I'm a school bus driver right now.
of course you are.
And yeah, so what ended up happening is when the files got released and I read them, I was like, diving deep, and I was selling 3D printers B2B for a company that also sold 3D modeling softwares, programming softwares, supply chain softwares. And when I learned that BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street are so involved in this, I was like, okay, well, who owns these softwares and these printers that we're selling? Turned out to be them. And so I was like, I can't. Morally, I can't do it. Like I literally was sitting there like I can't do this. I had to quit. I went to them and I told them, I said, because of everything going on, I just gotta, and that's where I did the 30-day economic strike, and then I went back to school bus driving. It's an employee owned business. So not owned by the ultra wealthy pedophilic vampires in the Epstein files. and so I really think that's a big thing that a lot of people need to start doing, though, is like looking for their options that's like not a mega corporation and start working for those because we all talk about general strikes. Everyone quit your jobs, don't go to work for a week. It's just unrealistic for a lot of people. But if they jumped over to an employee owned business, privately owned business, something that doesn't benefit them, those pedo creepy creepos, uh, then they would be able to still work, right? Like we would all be okay with that. Hey, you're working for a real person. You're not benefiting them.
That's how I was in Hollywood because I was deep in. I mean, I've been in all the industries, the fashion world. I started modeling with Tyra Banks, dude.
Oh wow.
We were in the same bus. I was alone and she was with her mom. And that's how my life in the modeling started. Exactly.
You were with Tyra Banks. That's cool.
I started modeling with Tyra Banks, and I've been in that industry and the acting, and then I started making movies and the whole thing. And
Mhm.
it is so nasty that I don't have a I don't know a stranger. I'm friends with everybody, so I would be friends with like assistants and stuff. And I got shorthand of it. I'm a Southern girl. I'm a Southern mountain girl. I don't have any, I don't have any enemies. I don't have, I have everybody's my friend, and I'm not playing. And when I started seeing firsthand, they are nasty times nasty.
Mm-hmm.
took me 8 years to get all my stuff out of Hollywood and get it all. Like I don't have any ties at all. Like all my
Like you when you say you saw nasty things, um, can you maybe be a little bit more specific, or is that too much to ask?
that they do satanic weird stuff. They the many of those celebrities, they're doing the most deviant, nasty things like having sex with chickens, okay? Like having sex with chickens. Okay?
I believe it.
And then
You
the
know,
eight
the Freemasons do that shit too.
it's all connected. Oh my God. It's all
Yeah,
connected. And then I was innocently like, this is weird. I keep hearing this story because everybody tells me stories, and I'm like, I just keep hearing about this satanic ritual abuse stuff. It's like Eyes
yeah,
Wide Shut, but with babies.
yeah, yeah.
And people were like, "Be quiet, Shelton." And I was like, "No, it's weird. I just heard another one. Somebody told me la 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 la." And then I started getting cut out of things and like blacklisted and like they were like, "Oh, we don't want her," which is a golden thing. That was God looking out for me, honestly,
Yeah,
for real.
no kidding.
I just
Like,
like blurted out of it. They tried to put me with Harvey Weinstein. It was
oh,
women.
he's the worst.
It's women. Women.
What
It's
about women?
it's women. It is
What,
next level. That's behind the scenes, behind the doors,
yeah,
even
the
controlling the.
women are the ones facilitating? Is that
Yes,
what you're saying? Really?
yes, yes.
Well, they're not getting convicted a whole lot because if you look at the statistics about who gets convicted, it's like majority men, white men getting convicted of the child sex trafficking.
But at this
But
time, it was
I
all of
mean,
it.
I every time there's one like every time you see a group getting arrested, it's a bunch of fat incel men and then one woman. And I'm sure the woman is the one who's, oh, here, come here, kid. Oh, we're so much fun, having a good time. And then, they hand him over to these gross, fucking small dick men who just can't control themselves around anything. Sorry to hear that.
One layer, like that's like the bottom of the phyllo dough, and then it
Yeah.
goes up and up where they're literally on these ships. They go out on these ships, and you can order kids, and that's why all these creepy weirdos live next to the shipping yards.
Yep.
There's humans in all those shipping containers. Child Protective Services is human trafficking. I mean,
I've heard they have quotas. They have quotas. Like, they're like, oh, how many kids did you take away from families this month? Did you meet your quota? That's fucked if that's true that they have quotas. I mean, like, why would you put a quota on something like that? Like
I,
that it's like the and I don't know, like, I don't like ICE and I don't like that they're coming and grabbing people, and I really don't like that they have a quota. I think that the quota part of that is just like it's why they're just grabbing anybody because they're trying to hit their quota so they don't get reprimanded. And it's
they don't realize how deep it goes.
yeah,
And then
yeah. And also they're pieces of shit. A lot of them are pieces of shit. Not gonna lie.
when you
But
see how deep it goes, it's so nasty. It's like times nasty. And
hmm
then where I come in, I was like, I've been working with the men for so long because honestly, I was out traveling with my documentary. I don't know if you know, like I love this. Like we met in an elevator. I love what you're doing. Like and elevator, I made this documentary searching for Angela Shelton where I drove around the country. I
hmm
I drove around the country and I met every Angela Shelton in America who would talk to me. And I thought it was going to be funny, but it turns out they were 70% had been victims of child sexual abuse, rape, or domestic violence, sometimes all of it. And then one of the Angela Sheltons was tracking sexual predators, and she lived in the same town as my bio dad, who's a child rapist who I hadn't seen since I was 14. And
mm,
they arrived on Father's Day. What the
what the
and so
fuck?
I was like, as a filmmaker, and I'm also naive too. Like I kept my innocence. And I was like, this is too weird to be weird. I got to go see my dad. Like y'all can take the day off, but I'm gonna go see my dad. And my crew was like, "Are you dumb as hell? That's the movie. Hello, hello." And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "I'm interviewing women in America, not myself." And then it turns into like it's me. And so I went and confronted my dad on Father's Day as he left for church because
hmm
he converted to Catholicism.
After doing all the fucked up shit, he's like, I found God.
Yeah.
All is forgiven. Everything I did is okay.
No, you found your other perpetrators. No,
Yeah.
that's,
Right.
that that is the synagogue of Satan. Ooh, I said it out loud. Oh.
Oh, because we're
Oh,
about to get banned. We're about to be a Fed in here all of a sudden. They're
yeah,
coming.
it's totally the synagogue of Satan. And so I was just like innocently interviewing people and just listening to their stories. And then I just started to see over and over. I confronted my own dad and dealt with my own like issues. That movie made me like literally do it, not just like go to a therapist and talk about your ex, but
Yeah.
like really actually do it. And then I can't be a hypocrite on the way on traveling the country. I had to do it. I can't be
Yeah.
really honest about my own stuff. And I had like self-hatred and self-abuse and, marry the asshole and all that stuff. And so I just really deep dive my own stuff and then use myself as a teaching to say like,
Hmm.
this works. This is too expensive. You don't need
Yeah.
this. You can just cut ahead to this. And then
You're like, I've done this through experience. I'm here,
yeah,
like, listen, I'm not saying, oh, by theory or I read this in a book. Like, you live this. This is the easiest way to do it or the best way that you know how, or what worked for you at least, too. What works for one person may not work for another,
yep,
right?
and go fast and give a whole plentiful of opportunity. Like you might something might resonate with you, in sound bath, or like something might be like you need to go beat something up and chop wood and like, purge your rage or whatever. So
Yeah.
I've discovered all those things, and so I put it all together in a circus so that you could pick your adventure. Are you
Yeah, a
Greek?
little choose your adventure.
Yeah, are you
A little
Greek?
choose your adventure. Like, yeah.
It's connected. It's connected.
Yeah, they're similar. Yeah.
Ways that you are choosing your intervention to get better, more aware, and then get out of that.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
order
The,
to get
the
out of
goal
that,
is to get out of this.
yes,
We don't want to be in here.
to get out of that, you got to go take care of yourself, get in your spiritual life, And so I
You
just,
got to find peace with each other, with your community, within yourself, and that's how you break out of this fucking thing. And the longer that we wait, like the more likely this stuff comes to fruition, you know?
they don't have good plans.
No, it's not. And like the craziest part to me is that so much of it was laid out in the files, like that you can find specific files that like talk about flock or talk about COVID or talk about all the things that we've seen happen and then what we're going to see happen. And some of those things when the files first came out that didn't happen yet have happened in between now and then. And so like and people are still like, oh, you believe in the Epstein files? That's a conspiracy. It's like, no, it's not. It's straight from the DOJ. It's not a conspiracy. When it was QAnon, the QAnon people, everyone made fun of. Everyone was like, oh, they're conspiracy theorists and yada yada. But then, like, majority of the stuff that the QAnon people were talking about were in the files. But the QAnon people thought that Trump was the savior. And so when Trump turned out to be the guy who was named 38,000 times, which is now it's actually a million times. Um, they're all of a sudden all hush hush, like quiet, like, oh, we were wrong, but that QAnon, no, oh yeah, that was all for fun.
There are no colors and there are no divisions. It's totally a play on us, and it's ancient. And
It
had I
isn't.
not been a model, I would have been a theologian. So I have like hot mom ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And so the why I started talking to men is because I got fired from Notre Dame because I did a comedy show. And on the comedy show, I showed you how to find the G spot and how to make it on the turkey for Thanksgiving. I was like, I was with my mama. It was funny. And I got fired from a big, huge speaking engagement where I was going around talking about my movie and all the, violence against women, blah, blah, blah. And I got this official letter, and this is all connected to this stuff. I
Hmm.
got this official letter from Notre Dame University. We hired you to speak about violence against women, not about women's sexuality. So therefore, we are canceling your contract. You're not getting paid. It was 10 grand. And I was like,
Wow.
and yeah, I'm fancy. And so, but I was like, damn. And at first, I was so apologetic. I was like, it was a comedy show. What do you mean? Like, I'm not going to do
I
that.
can't just talk about one thing the whole time. Like that's not how comedy works. There's like ups and downs and little side quests and things that happen, right? Like in order to make the joke land.
Well,
Yeah.
guess what? Women did it. Two women are the ones that kicked me off of there. And I started thinking about it. I was like, actually, violence against women is totally directly related to women's sexuality. And when we
Hmm.
have healthy, happy sexuality with women, you don't have violence against women. Imagine. And
Imagine that.
Imagine I mean, imagine in church we're actually taught healthy sex. Imagine we're taught sex. We don't get sex ed. We get fucked for real.
Yeah, we
So I
do.
doing a comedy show called Pricked about every penis I ever saw, and starting with my father. Oops. Yeah,
Oops.
really funny and like incest survivors are better in bed. Once they feel better.
Though that is a common joke, though. Daddy issues, right? Girls with daddy issues are the best in bed, right? That's the joke. And so a lot of that comes from them being sexually abused or mistreated by their dads when they were growing up.
Hello. But I mean,
Hello.
I'm into turning that positive. You know, don't
Mhm.
let that take your joy for the rest of your life. Like just because something happened to you once or 5 years or whatever, don't like you take it back. And so that's what I studied forever. And so I stopped talking to the women and I went full into the men and just started interviewing men and spending time with men. And like I went after men, not at like I studied. I've watched you like I was watching like animals in the night. You know, what are you
Yeah,
doing? I
you're
like it.
taking notes on
Yeah,
me. And I'm like, oh, he has this tell over here.
yeah, yeah, I am. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I paid attention to the men who had their shit together, were good looking, tall, like all had it all. Like
Hmm.
their relationships are good, their money's on, their spiritual life is on, they're doing something good in the world. I wanted to
Yeah.
know what are they eating, what are they putting in their mouth, and how are they spending their time.
Yeah.
And I it changed my whole life. It literally
What was the most like? What were your findings?
number one, say no.
Say no
Say no.
to
Men
people. Just start learning how to say no.
Yep. Men saying the only different because what I learned from the men is they are spending 3 to 6 hours a day on their own body, mind, spirit maintenance. And
Mm-hmm.
women don't necessarily do that. They run and like cover everybody with like self love and self care and all that. I just coming from like self abuse and self hatred and like I
Yeah.
never resonated with like I'm doing some self love, but
Yeah.
I can look at it like maintenance.
I just need a little sweet treat. I just need to go do a little retail therapy. I just need to go do, and it's like things that are actually like negative for you,
Yeah,
like are the self love.
right.
Yeah.
And so the men were doing or are doing saunas, cold plunges, walks in nature, you know,
Yep.
in nature
The
with
ones who have their shit together
yeah,
are going to the gym, they're eating healthy, and they're listening to a budget. They're actually thinking about what am I spending money on? Is this a smart decision? Or can I afford this right now? And like, I don't know. Yeah,
next
essentially.
level, they're not in the gym. They're out doing stuff. They're
Which
like
what was that?
and the next level is they're not actually in the gym. They're out doing stuff. They're chopping
Yep.
wood, they're building stuff, they're working on cars, they're doing, they're working. And they're
Yes.
spending at least an hour on their spiritual work. So whatever that is, prayer or
Mhm.
sauna or whatever it is, like
Mhm.
and breath work. And so I was like, huh, I've never actually done that. I've done that the other way around. Like if I have time at the end of the day, not the other way around. So I started paying attention to the men and doing it, and that's when like things took off for me. I changed my ways. Like my life just got so much better. And they say no. That's
Yeah.
the difference is they say no. And so I started saying no to all the baloney caca, and I just started getting better, just in general, and helping my lady friends. So it's like I work with the men so that the women can come, and then I work with the women so that the men can come. I help
That's
them.
funny.
I help
Yeah.
them and then I had I not been a model, I would have been a theologian, right? So I've constantly like I love me some God and how to be more like in nature with my feet bare and all that stuff. Then I got my hands on the Bibles, the Gospels that they took that the creepy weirdos that are all in there
Yeah.
took out of the Bible, took out of their 66 books. Of course, it's 66 books in the Bible, and I because my grandmother's always like read your Bible, and so I started reading it, and I was like, Gran, it's incest and inbreeding, and I'm only on page 30. And she goes, skip ahead. And so I skipped ahead. And then I went back to what they didn't put in there. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, you want to know? Guess what? Guess what they didn't put in here?
What?
Guess guess what they kept out? I'm like, you know what? First of all, that all of our human sins are not sins, they're entities. And it's connected to parasites inside our bodies.
Mm.
It's a worm. And when you and oh wait, what? And how to get close to God, the closer to closer, is to be not consumed, to get rid of the worm and then not to be consumed by the worm anymore, the demons inside, because the demons inside communicate with the entities outside. That's what they are worshiping when they do their blood stuff and they do their like they're doing goats and all the nasty stuff.
Yeah.
They're doing the demon work to stay with the demon side, to try
Yeah.
to invert it, to try to make this not be true.
Right.
Makes sense? And so, and there's in here is all about men are the spiritual authority over the demons, my friend.
Really?
Just your energy of you being you, you're just you, and you wake up and your energy, just that energy of you being present and where you quitting your job because you're like, I'm not standing for that. That frequency kills them.
Yeah, it has to.
I'm not even
Like,
joking. And then it says in here, it literally says in here, chants for men and brotherhood to do. Are you kidding? And to bond together. And how have they completely fucked with men? They've been into betas. The whole feminist movement was all like, men are bad, men are bad. We hate
yeah.
men. I mean, there's been a total like war on men.
The one thing that I think just growing up is like, when we're younger as men, we like sports, we like video games, right? And then what ended up happening is that the video games kind of started taking over sports. Now there's a lot of kids who aren't in sports. They don't like sports. They rather play video games. And we went from having a console that you would have to come together in the same room and hang out and play. And now it's impossible to do that. You have to be online. So everybody's in their own little space away from each other. And they've been doing that to all of us. Like the whole hey, when you're 18 years old, it's time to move out. It's time to get out of the house and stuff. Like other countries, that's not the case. They'll stay in the house till they're 25, 28. And that's because they save money by doing that. They can save up for a house. They can share the responsibilities of the house and they can have community because now we're all living alone. Everybody's cleaning their own place. Everybody's cooking their own food. Everybody's having to mow their own lawns and take care of this whole place where if you just stayed at home for 8 more years or 5 more years, you know, you wouldn't have to have done all that. You could have just been working, grinding, and doing the things like you were just explaining and getting that much farther ahead in life.
But that is a trap. And that's what they took out of the books is literally the answer is your breath work, your work with water, your work with other men. So that's why I'm like, y'all, come, let's get together.
Mm-hmm.
And like, cause I had a music studio and let's like make your music. And it's literally these chants. It's honestly, I can't even believe it's one of those like, what? Of course you did that because it is a video game. It's
Mm-hmm.
these layers of like angels and demons, and it's literally described in here, and it maps it out. And of course, I was like, oh my god, they left this out for a reason.
Yeah,
They left this
they
out for
took out a ton. Didn't they
left
take out like how many books did they end up taking out?
a ton. And then the major one, oh, all the women, Sophia, Mary Magdalene. Oh, guess what? There's a bunch in here about the art of kissing. Really? Because
Really?
Jesus be kissed, and they are you kidding me? Really? And then, oh, I wanted to read you something because I knew you were going to be like, oh, yeah, yeah. So, God, Jesus, the radiant light, my objective is to eradicate their lack of knowledge because people are dumb.
Yep.
They've been enfolded by this layer, right? To enlighten everyone about the transient deity beyond the cosmos, which is really the radiant light of God. Therefore, step on their graves, neutralize their malicious goals, break their control, and awaken your own. I bestowed upon you sovereignty over all of these entities as sons of light, empowering you to exert control over their realm with your feet. Why'd they leave that out? I wonder.
Because they don't want you to know about all that. Because if you don't know about it, then how do you fight back against it, right?
Because we're stuck in a little box where the entity, like creepy little weirdos inside, are communicating with outside, and it just makes everybody's crazy. And guess what? There's 365 demons. And guess what? When they found out, it says in here, are you kidding me? when they found out that we as men and women, when we bond together and we have the healthy sex, not the Netflix and chill, not the porn stuff, which is what they control,
Yeah, right.
but the spiritual connection, it actually energetically does what you, men, or spiritual authority over demons. It radiates a frequency that it protects the whole community.
Yeah.
I think they've been trying to remove men and women, separate. And so when they realized that that worked, like that enabled us to be the radiant light and come out of this little nightmare that we're in, they were like, let's put all of our attention, that is 365 demons, on the women.
Hmm.
Okay. Makes sense. I know why your girlfriend's crazy. I know why your wife's a lunatic. Because look, it's like when all the demons are directed to the women, that makes them crazy, that separates them from the men. And then the men don't get the memo that you are the spiritual authority to protect the women from the demons.
Mm.
What? It
Yeah.
becomes the Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, it comes
Like
through.
the beast runs off with the beauty,
Hmm.
while the normal guy is like, what?
What's
Like,
going on?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the men are running to the woods. They're like, oh my God, women are nuts, especially in their 20s and 30s. That generation is like a toast. So like you got to go older or younger, or like wish, like seriously. So y'all men are like, oh God. So you're running like, oh God, they're all crazy. Well, when you see this so blatantly, and it's connected to all this, it's old.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And one thing I just, as long while we're on the topic, is like I I want to jump in, but I'm like sitting here overthinking what I'm about to say because because women will jump and
don't over.
call men misogynists
No,
so easily, and like what you're talking about right there, like is like easily, like if I were to jump in and agree with you, somebody could clip that and they'll be like, "Look at this piece of shit. He's a misogynist." And that's
okay.
another reason why a lot of men don't want to speak up. That's another reason why a lot of men don't want to put themselves out there, is because they just get instantly hit and pushed back because maybe they said the wrong phrase. Maybe they thought something was funny and it didn't land. Maybe, they got a vibe from somebody and they thought that they were okay to approach and say hi, and then they just get like not just denied like a no, like they get like
A little.
actually like told that they're pieces of shit, or that they're not even worth their time. Like, come on, you gotta be joking, you gotta be kidding me, kind of thing. Like, um,
Crushes
yeah,
yourself in your confidence, and it's demons.
demons.
When you see it, you can't unsee it. And then when I was, I know it's crazy, but my life is pretty wild. I have so many great stories that you're just like, here we are right now. And I had an angel appear to me in a farmer's market in the parking lot in the middle of nowhere and tell me all about the parasites. This
Yeah,
amazing, just literally, it was one of those like, what? Like the car pulls up that tells you. And I stood in the rain for 3 hours with my face on the ground, just like, what?
like
Tell
what happened?
what? Tell me about the parasites and how they eat despair. And I was like, say what now? They
I've
they
heard that. I've
yeah,
heard that they eat the negative energy.
yes. And they hold it. So if you've had something bad happen, like a rape or domestic violence or whatever you had, like it'll like be in that worm, and then that worm will communicate with the entity outside. So you're just, us little humans are delicious, fried up in despair, and that is as simple as it is. And these motherfuckers are
Hmm.
are part of it. Like they're the worm times wormed. They're the because
Yeah,
the worst despair in the world is child sexual abuse. I mean,
yeah.
and we all agree on that. If you don't, go fuck yourself. Honestly, like
Seriously.
I mean, for years I've been like, hey, let's change the world instantly. Stop raping kids. Go fuck yourselves.
It's simple as that. Like,
Simple. Change the world instantly. But it goes so deep, man. So
I want to
you,
go back to when you were talking about the porn industry. Like, have you looked at what's on there?
oh yeah,
Stepdaughter, or all this incest stuff, all this like glorifying like young women and make it like, and Like it's just, and a lot of men go to that because of what I talked about earlier, where they're like, I don't even want to approach women anymore. I can go online and get to porn really fast. And then when they get there, what do they find? They find all the creepy weirdos stuff that's trying to get them to be okay with what they're fucking doing. And so that way, when it comes out and we all hear about it, it's not as big of a shock. And now they got all these people defending them because they're okay with it. And that's not, and they've been manipulated. A lot of
5,000.
people,
And a
yeah.
lot of Hollywood, they actually got fucked. Like these men,
Hmm.
they go in and you're gonna get your like little role in the TV show,
Yeah.
but creepy, nasty over there has to ah and
That was the Harvey Weinstein whole thing with Harvey Weinstein. You want to roll in my movie? He'd walk up in a robe and he would just have it open and he'd be butt ass naked underneath there. Disgusting man.
I know.
Then yeah, that was his thing. You want the role in this movie? Well, you got to do something for me.
Cut to me laughing.
Yeah, like that's
Oh my, you're high.
fucking sick. Have you?
You're
I don't know if you got to read this shirt the other day, but it says, "Our children are not for sale. Death to all pedophiles. No more secrets, no more lies. Trials for the files. Justice for every child. We won't just forget and we won't quit." And it's from the Save Our Children's group, which had a little bit of what do you call it? I don't know, something. The leader of the group had some really questionable posts in the past that were related to cheese pizza and things like that, and his ex-girlfriend, yada yada. But that doesn't change the message of the group to me. The leader does not define the message. Like, he could have just stepped down, and they're kind of fractured right now. But that group had a group in every single state, in several cities, and would show up every month to go and do a protest, to go and do something. And a lot of them implemented a ton of the stuff that I have on here. And they're um and it's just really, like, it comes back to the whole thing of the werewolf people, werewolves, where they find one thing that they don't agree with and all of a sudden they turn into, "I fucking hate you, oh my god, get out of my life," and they're just angry, so angry because they disagree on one thing. And it's like, because that guy had those posts, the whole movement got fractured, where they could have just said, "He's out,
intentionally.
get rid of him, we're still doing our thing," you know.
Yeah. And also, you don't need a group. Like this is all it's individual and a group. Like it's
Yeah,
like
no, I go out there and do my own stuff individually. You need to, and like, you have to. If you're sitting at home and you're waiting for somebody else, like, no, you are the person. Go and do it. Like, I went outside. My first protest I did on my own. For this, I've seen stuff. I was standing outside the McDonald's with the pedos profit from here, and I was live streaming. And as people were driving in McDonald's, I was like, 2% human meat, 1% rodent meat. Hope you like your cannibalism. Like, hope you like. Do you want 1 or 2% human in your burger today? You know, I was yelling shit like that to them. I got 3 people to turn around. 3 people to turn around and not go eat McDonald's. The rest of them, they still went and they were like shamefully waving. They were like, "I know, but I'm sorry." And then only one person came up and was like being a dick. But other than that, like, other people just ignored and things like that. And it's opens your eyes to how much, like, when they call us cattle, like, I'm sorry, I kind of see it. I
yeah,
see it.
yeah. We're in the movie Solvent Green.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh my god, it's like everybody lives in this like utopia, la la la, and you're eating your food that comes out of it, and they're eating themselves.
I wanna I wanna watch it because I've been really into conspiracy movies because of all this. Because they say that they have to put it in our media, in our movies, in our TV shows, in our radio, in our songs, and all that stuff, in order, like, they have to tell us in order for us to be okay with it. And
I got
so
one's
yeah,
called
you have to tell me what that one is again.
Solvent. Yeah, Solvent Green is like what they're how they're
Solvent
feeding.
Green.
But the real one to watch, the one to really get like actually what's happening on all levels, is Dark City. 1998, the same time as Matrix came out, and the
Mhm.
Matrix was very popular. And a lot of times those movies, like mine, I've experienced it too. They're like, "Oh, that one there, quiet, quiet." But
Dark City, was that the one that had like three parts to it? And it was this guy's story, and there's another guy's story, but they were all like aligned?
no, it follows.
No?
It shows the entities. It shows
Okay.
it shows basically what's happening, and you can see it. You can see like the little black things, and you can visualize the layers that they're sacrificing to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they are. They literally are. Like they're sacrificing creepy stuff
When
to stuff. What I'm just not
the
even talking about.
the Freemasons do the sacrifices, and in order to get to the next level rank, you have to learn the next ritual, which each ritual gets more and more fucked up, and
Yeah.
the higher you go. And they worship the devil, and it's a fact. There's and if you go back to the origins of the Freemasons, it's linked to the King Solomon from the Bible. And at the end of his years, like the Bible ends kind of early in his life, but if you go to the end of his life, he had a lot of wives come in from different lands of Canaan, and they were pagan, and so they practiced these kind of rituals. And the builder of the Temple of Solomon and King Solomon got together, and they made the Freemasons. And so I just can't help but be like, there's Zionists around right now, and the Freemasons are a big part of it. Like, I think all of this shit probably goes way back to even then to start off. Like, there's obviously multiple groups that are working together, but that one single group has had to be Zionist since like day one. They've had to be manipulating and all that stuff since they got started and doing the sacrifices and rituals.
Yeah. The year 591 was the year that they took Mary Magdalene out. So
Of the
that
Bible.
and it was a big propaganda speech by the Pope the
Yeah,
first one, of course.
of
And
course.
then you see, if you go to the Catholic Church, I've been there, I've been to the Vatican. If you see, if you and if you go and look online, the throne, like the Vatican throne, it's a demon. You're
I've
like,
seen those pictures and stuff, people showing it and explaining it.
I mean, and that the red shoes, the robes, all of it is like it's nasty, and that's
You've
why.
heard of the Red Shoe Club, right? That's disgusting too. And
And
now every time I see red shoes, I'm like, you know?
no, and you think it's a joke, you know what I mean? You're like, this is a joke, right? And all the people in Hollywood. I mean, I knew two women in Hollywood that like, so I had my dermatologist put blood in my face. I'm like, what? What? The, it makes you look younger. And I was like, what is wrong with these people? And then when I found out about the parasites, and then I went full tilt boogie when I was like, wait, if they're eating despair, the worst despair is child sexual abuse. Does that mean that they are the cause of child sexual abuse? And this angel that was paired to me, Arnett Lieutenant, was like, yes. And I was like, is that why you're telling me of all people? Because like I am the child sexual abuse. I'm a superhero for little kids. Like I literally, I'm like I've been not shutting up for many many years. If you've seen this when you were little, you might have seen this at school when you were little.
Yeah, I have, I think. Wait,
Here
is that you?
I
There you are.
come back. I came back.
You're back.
There's that super chick in the house. I'm not playing. I even told, I was like, something's weird with this boy. This one right here.
Was something weird with him? Did something happen? Did something come out about him?
You figure it out. When it's just weird to me. Like the death of
Hmm.
the son and all these things. And like you just start looking into more things. And the more you look, the more it becomes really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I hate to say it curse, but like Disney World,
Hmm.
Disneyland, underneath, it's total.
The Club 33.
Yeah. When
Have
you
you heard of
walk
the club? Yeah.
when you walk around Disney World and you see the sad little kids, and then if you were to follow them, they take them to hotel rooms, and then that's how they trade them. So you'll see like one dude after one dude after one dude after go in, and they put that kid on Benadryl. That's how John Benet Ramsey died. Six, age 6 is like their favorite. They love the age 6, and they drug them, and then they pass them around the whole thing. That's why you can buy them on Mayfair and stuff. When you're like, I want the toy. It's it's
Oh yeah, those toys that are like
yeah,
$20,000 or something, and it's like just a
yeah,
like a rag doll, like super beat
literally,
up
literally.
toy.
Yep, literally.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, literally. And then you can order them. And so that's why when on the emails and stuff, like Hillary's emails, the big boo-ha, and they're like, who cares about her emails? It's because they were ordering children.
Seriously.
Y'all,
She had an email, or there was one in there talking about how she would take the faces of other people and put her on her own face and shit like that too. Like there was really fucked up stuff in there.
nasty. And then they get off on these, they have these hunting parties where they'll just put these kids out. And if you've lived in,
Literally every supervillain movie out there is in there. Like they have been telling us where they're doing evil shit this whole time, and we've all been like, oh, that's just fantasy land. That's just fiction. That's not really happening. And if it is happening, well, it's probably some billionaires from a different country, somewhere that's not in the United States. Lo and behold, it's like, no, actually, we're the ones funding it. We're the ones coordinating it, and we're inviting other ones to come and join.
yeah. And then they do the little thing where they'll be in the ships and then they'll go into the water that's international waters and they can do whatever.
Yep.
You've got all this, and then you order kids. They'll be like, order them. You can get whatever. And then I've been saying it for years when I was like, wait, that means on the missing cartons, y'all, those kids aren't missing. That they're sold. They're like traded. Like it's. And then I was like, I need to be funny. I need to be funny because this is bad. I was like, they're not just trading humans on the court, like on the El Paso where there's Juarez and El Paso, and they have all this. Oh, there's so much trafficking at Juarez. If there's so much trafficking, why aren't they doing anything about it? Because the cops and everything are also raping the kids. Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
And then
Look at
they
ICE. Look at the detention centers. All those girls that were getting impregnated. And then they go, "Oh, well, you know what? We're going to move all the young women to this island or this other." They moved all the women to like the young women to their own separate place to protect them when it's like, "No."
they're gonna take those babies.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
baby
a
farms and all
horror
that.
movie. I do not do horror movies. I cannot. I'm just I
You
can't.
know Zorro Ranch, where they had the baby farm from Epstein and that stuff. They opened a second place in New Mexico, and it's in the files talking about how there's another one in New Mexico somewhere, a second Zorro Ranch that's still operating today.
When you tell the real men, that's so funny. The cock, my picture of cock falls on me when I say when you tell the real men.
You had a
I
big
love
cock
cock.
hit you when you said that, the real men. Bam.
Men, here they go. The real men, when they find out about this, take care of it. They take care of it because it's
Yeah.
like the guys, like I know people, right? When you're down by the river and you're like drinking your beer and hanging out down by the river, and I walk up to a group of guys and I'm like, hey, guess what? Down at that hotel down there, they've got a 8-year-old, and there's 12 guys in that room, and we can't call the cops because the guy in there right now is the sheriff.
Right. He's the guy you would call is the one fucking doing it.
Yeah.
That happened here with all the sorry, I know it's different, but the same. The flock cameras and stuff like that we're so worried about here in my town. Well, because of the IDF and ICE, well, the guy is training with the IDF. Like he's admitted to be like, oh yeah, I train with the IDF. We have meetings monthly, we talk and stuff. It's like, who do I call about this? You doing incorrect things? Like he's also admitted to the misuse of the cameras, how they're pointed at where people hang out. There's an ice cream shop that has a line that is always around the corner, and the intersection is not a busy intersection. And there's a camera that's pointed right where everybody's standing and hanging out. And so all these young children that are in wait line to get ice cream and whatnot. They're being spied on by the local police department. You don't think that there's a guy sitting there looking at all the cameras, just going, uh, I'm bored, nothing's happening. I'm gonna go spy on the little kids at the ice cream shop
And jerk off.
and jerk off.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, buddy, come here. Look at this one. Isn't she hot? Good thing that we're in this secure room and we're all on the same page. Your mic and body cam's off, right?
When I heard that there was 70,000 men on that call, do you remember that one? There was 70,000 men on a telegram showing each other how to drug
Oh,
their
yeah. The rape university kind of thing.
And I mean, people were up in arms about it, and I was like, I didn't speak about it because I've been like quiet for a while, just like observing everything. And also my best friend was like, "Oh God, don't talk." And then I'm like you. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna talk. And she didn't want to be friends anymore. You know, and he's like, I'm gonna talk because this is bullshit.
I've lost
Yeah.
so many friends because I talk about this stuff and I'm like, I'm not okay with it. And so many people are just like, well, you can't do anything about it.
Yes, you can.
So, yes, you
Honestly,
can.
by not shopping, like what you teach is so
Yeah.
brilliant. It's like just by stopping how you shop or altering how you shop and getting back to the community. That's what I learned from the meat. I wrote a book called Meat, Milk, and Men.
Hmm.
I spend all the time with men. It's like shopping where you like with locally, keeping it within your sphere of influence, taking
Yeah.
care of yourself. Don't rely on any of that, and then also stop paying everything.
Yeah. Seriously.
Literally. Like I'm not you seriously, I'm gonna make a stamp that says stop raping kids, go fuck yourself. And you can just stamp it on any
Stamp it to the bill.
yeah, just
Put it
stamp
in the.
here you go. There it is.
Yeah.
And so those guys that you tell down by the river sitting there having their beer, thinking like, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. Will totally 500,000% go over to that hotel, knock the door down, beat the shit out of those 12 guys, save the kid because most of those guys are dads, and then obviously the kid is going to be traumatized. Yeah, no shit. And
Yeah.
then it's better, which trauma is worse, you know?
The
I mean,
the trauma and then not having someone come in and save you,
yeah,
or the trauma of it happening and then someone coming in and saving you. I would pick the second one and have, and especially like a group of men come in and show you that there's good men in the world that will come and like show up when it's time,
yeah.
when they're needed. Yeah.
They haven't known anything. They haven't known what to do. And now it's like it's in that room and it's in that room. And that's why I love that guy, Coach Tommy,
Hmm.
because they're those dudes who are the first responders and the cops and the military guys that are like, what the fuck? Like, you turn it, and then you go catch the guys. And they're catching in federal buildings. No shit, really shocking. They have all the cots lined up with these kids on draining them of androchrome because it's $100,000 a bag. It's $100,000 a bag, and it's not blood. They're drinking the spinal fluid. It's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
They're really doing the spiritual thing, and it's
It
like,
is.
and I'm in the God camp. I'm like, I'm not playing with
One
the
of the one of the my followers and I, we were talking and they were telling me about when they were growing up and they were really young, the their father would was a drug dealer and he got his drugs from the police. The police would show up, open the trunk and have garbage bags full, and then they would give it to him. And at a certain age, they said, "Hey, your kid's getting a little too old. They're going to start questioning and putting things together. You got to stop bringing them around to this." And then they did this whole elaborate plan and got their dad arrested and everything to put an end to it. But like the the corruption is down at our local city levels. It's not just in federal. It's not just it's here. It's in your town. It's across the street. It's in the same house. So I rent part of this house out, and you might know that from watching my videos. And when I first bought the place, I rented it to people that were in the same college as me, and of my mom's friend's son was living here, and I would go to work, and he was here, and what he was doing when I was gone is he was bringing home 14 and 15-year-old girls and fucking them. And then I came home one day early from work and I caught him, and I was like, you need to get the fuck out of my house by the end of the day, like before I get home from work tomorrow. The only reason I'm not calling the cops on you right now is because of our parents' relationships, where they weren't even supposed to be friends because of corporate stuff and yada yada. And I didn't want to cause that drama and get my mom fired from her career. Um, but like I was like, he lived here for 6 months.
How old was he?
He was 25.
Oh,
And he was bringing home and fucking 13, 14, 15-year-old girls. um they're they are your friends. They are the people that you think would never be that. Another guy that I worked with, I used to do storm restoration, and so Eau Claire got hit with some really massive hail, and we're out there, we're door knocking. It's the week that the college graduates are all graduating, so they're all out at the bars and stuff. We're like, hey, let's go party with the college kids. We're down there, we're drinking, we're having fun, and we split off, and then we're coming back together at the end of the night, and the two are trying to get these girls to come back with them, and the girls are kind of like playing along, but it seems weird and stuff. And we're in the and then they get in the car, and they're like they're doing this hand motion, and I had to look it up later because they kept doing it. And what it is it's a signal of women saying help, they're trying to rape me. And I was so drunk, and from partying with all the that the next day I'm sitting there, I'm thinking about it, I see that, and I'm putting it together in my head, and I'm like, oh my God, they were literally like manipulating these girls and doing these things, and I unknowingly aided and abetted them. And then they told me that nothing happened, the girls were being crazy, and like were able to fend them off, but they were at the hotel that whole night, but they were like out in the hallway and doing all this crazy stuff, and they didn't get raped, but that was their intention, was to take these girls and just manipulate them and do that. And so I don't talk to those guys anymore. I told them to fuck off, and I told everybody that I knew about that, being like, no, wrong.
actually, alcohol. Alcohol is the favorite food of the parasites. And as much as I love the hot country guy down by the river with the beer, and I was like, oh man, I let go of all alcohol. There's only one. Ironically, this is how they invert stuff. Ironically, there's a tequila. It's funny, the tequila with the worm. You can drink tequila to break the biofilm of the parasite. That's the one
Okay.
you, and then you could take your wormwood and your oregano and all the stuff to like kill them. It breaks the biofilm. It's like those nasty little nasties are ancient, but there's nothing that can get past real men. Real men like yourself. There's first of all, there's way more of you than you realize, and I always tell the women like, shut up with the whole men are bad because they're everywhere, and
We have a group. If you're a real man, come join. We're doing the Cowboy Crusaders over here. We're getting together, we're organizing, we're trying to build community, we're trying to do skill shares, we're trying to
fine, and
actually do shit, you know?
you're
Huh?
doing it. I said
Yeah.
you're doing it. Your sentence is your sentence in the perpetrator prison.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that. Your sentence is your sentence. So like that now it's a matter of like you call it to you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I've learned.
Okay.
And they've kept out, those nasties on your board, literally kept out the truth of men being the spiritual authority over demons. And the demons are literally 100,000% focused on making the women nuts.
Yeah. I mean, look at how they market products, right? Like I think it's like 80% of consumers or consumer products are marketed towards women
Yeah.
because women are the more likely to go and purchase and buy. And like we talked about earlier, it's the oh, I just need a sweet treat. Oh, I just need to go do some retail therapy. And that's why they market so heavily to women.
And when you see it, you can't unsee it. And when
And the other thing too is like women were also the ones at home and men were at work, so women had time to go and look and be like, what do we need for the house, what are we going to buy next? So I mean, lot like just even that just natural progression, I could see why. But then when you think about the psychological, like you're talking about with all the creepy nasties and stuff, like those two things just added together, terrible combo.
those things, you could believe it or not believe it. Like you could go that deep into the worms, or you could just look at it like a society. Don't you think it's a little weird? Like that we've been systematically separated so that we don't bond together, so that we people we will no longer, because we see how they did it, we will no longer allow them to get away with it because we're bonding together and we're aware of it, and then the men are raising their spiritual authority. It's like get off the porn, and I have so many ways to do that. To get off the porn and get into your spiritual life, it actually makes your sex better.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. And then actually like get into your commitment to take out the to live a great life. And when you're living a great life, there are no perpetrators around.
Right.
And they're so easy to call out. That's what I've seen. My dad was one of them. My dad was a perp, and he was super scary behind closed doors, like in perfect in society, blah blah blah. This moment the door shut, he was like, I've been like beaten, like that kind of shit. And that guy, just like every other perp I've ever come in contact with, is a weak, just a weakling. When a real man shows up and is like, those guys go, they do.
They do.
I've kicked perps out of rooms before. I mean, there a cafe locally where I live. There was this perp that was bothering all these every time at this cafe. He'd like touch butts and stuff and all the stuff. And I've seen him quite a few times because he like stares at me, and he's one of those guys that won't let go of the eye contact. He's always staring at you, and I'm just, ugh, that guy, because he knew he shouldn't touch me. But anyway, I got a call from my mama, and she was like, he's here again, and there's two teenage girls, and he's touching them. And I was like, oh hell. I was like, I'm busy. But I drove to town. I literally walked into that cafe. I went right up to him and I kicked him. I never touched him. I recorded it. I talked him out of that whole place. I whipped his fanny without
Yeah.
touching my mouth. And I got him out of there. I put him up against the wall with my words, and I filmed it. I took it to the cops, and I was like, you know who I am? Do you know my name? And he's like, I know that Joanne is your mama. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Well, I'm Angela Shelton, and you're not gonna want to know my name. I will ruin your life. I'll be so far up your ass, motherfucker. Like you ever come in here, you never come in there again. You will never go in there again, and you will never talk to those women. You will never touch another woman. And he was just like, oh, and I was just like,
Yeah.
and he was like, and then I took it to the cops, and the cops were like, good job. We'll visit him. We'll visit his house and remind him that we agree with you. He never went into the cafe again. All these 24 women, 24 women in this teeny little town either messaged me or saw me in person. They're like, thank you so I heard about what you did. Thank
Yeah.
you. He's been bothering me for 30 years.
Oh my God.
30 years. What? What? And then two women who owned the places, one who had the cafe and one who had the apartment that I like walked him out to, they complained so much because I cursed.
Not because of what he was doing, but because you were
30
cursing.
Not for 30 years, but for like, you cursed. Or you showed women how to find their G spot. You talk about healthy sex. You say men are good. You make jokes. I can make a case for domestic violence right now.
Fuck.
I'm about to whoop your ass. but seriously, it's when you see the demons and you see the little worms. And then when I found out about the worms, and I did my own cleanses, and I was like, I called it out. I was like, the black woman who loves Jesus came out of my body, and I was like, no, I ain't playing with this. And then I saw one, dude. When you see, you can't unsee it. And then I had an old trauma. Like I've been through a lot in my life.
Like, wait, when you're doing your, like, you literally see little worms come out of your body.
Kid you
What?
not, it was like three, like that, clutched
Ew.
together. I'm not joking. And I was like, I will never look again. One of those things. And I saw it, and my mentor who told me all about this, he's like, just wait, you'll see it, and then your trauma will go away. And an old anxiety trigger that I'd had forever, like if you mention it, I'll start crying. Gone. So for me, I'm like, it's like me teaching people like how to get over stuff. I'm like, I'm not gonna, I did it. Like I ate that thing. I took that thing. I licked that frog.
You're like, I did it for science. I did it for you. I needed to figure it out.
But I did it, and I did these cleanses, and it is connected. And then when you think it's so old that these people are literally loaded up with nasty parasites and demons. I mean, are you
Yeah.
kidding me? This is why I have to make movies. I'm like, this is crazy.
You used to go to the crazy witch doctor woman of the village whenever you needed something, and she would put leeches on you, and she'd be making these little potions and like would hit you with leaves and shit or whatever.
Get
And
out. Get out.
yeah, get out, like yelling chants and whatever. And they pushed that away. And, maybe some of what that was crazy hoopla, theater, but other parts of it had to have been doing something. There had to be something there that was done right. I don't think we should get rid of like all the medicine that we currently have. Like, there are medical practices like the surgeries and anesthesia and those types of things that are necessary, but like there's got to be other options that are just you know way more straightforward and natural, instead of just, here, we're going to have you take this pill to treat a symptom, not the root cause. That's what we do all the time, is treating symptoms.
And then keeping you in my science fair project when I was 12. And I'll regale you with these stories because
Yes.
I was like little Wednesday Adams meets olive oil with my little like you're bored. Like I had a board.
Yeah.
And then I showed the grocery store, and I was like, the grocery store is systematically poisoning us to send us to pharma. And you walk in and you eat everything. Like you'll eat. I went down every single additives and preservatives and what they did and all the stuff and I went on, researched it in the big library behind, and I was like, that's a little weird. And I made a little map, and then I discussed it. I showed the people that are giving you the cure, the meds, are the same people who put it in the food that made you sick to need the med.
Yeah.
And then they bought the media, and then and then it's there. Yeah, there it is.
It's the fucking mega group is one of the groups that's like, they own, like, they're the top investors and like owners of the different, they own the education system, they own the healthcare system, they own the food industry, they own the automotive industry, they own all these things, and they meet once a year over in Israel, and they get together because they're all second, like they're either Israel natives, or they all have, what's that called?
Citizenship.
What, citizenship. They have dual citizenship with Israel. They all are ultra wealthy. Like, I mean, ultra wealthy. Like, they're part of that 0.1%. And it's Lex Wexner's group. It's a real thing. And so who do I think needed all the blackmail? This group here. And just like you're talking about, like, yeah, they're like, okay, how do we poison these people so that way they need more of your medications? And then because they need your medications and they're so poisoned, well, now they're going to need these medical devices. And because we're having to ship all this stuff, they're going to need your vehicles. And so then it all is connected, and they're just playing this big fucking game of how do we extract the most amount of money from these people. And they want us to get on, like, they want us to get on government subsidies because if they pay us money and then we come back and we spend it with them, well, there's that cycle where if the government gives us money and then we go and give it to them, well, that's more money that's not going out of their hands. It's just going directly from the government to us to them so they can grow more and more. So the reason why the wage stays so low and the reason why we can't afford anything is because if they were to pay us more, it's not that they would have to raise prices and everything. They could just make less. The problem is that then we might spend money not with them. You know, we might go and say, hey, we want to eat healthier. Hey, we want to go and start our own business. Hey, we want to go and do XYZ. And the proof that I have on that too is like my uncle owns a very successful HVAC company and he has 7 different houses and he doesn't rent them. He just has them. Just has them. And they're furnished and empty. And he's like, man, it's so hard to keep good technicians. And I'm like, well, how much you paying them? He's like, oh, they're making about 50,000 a year. And I'm like, you own 7 houses. Why don't, and you're making millions of dollars a year. How about you just make less and pay them more? Well, because if they make enough, then they're going to go into competition with me. That was his reason. And I'm like, what? I'm
Yeah,
sorry, dude. Like that's just fucked up. Like what the mental gymnastics of that of just I'm like,
and
don't you
the video game. It's like the video game of what they did is like this really intricate web to keep you
Mhm.
poisoned here and poisoned here and poisoned here, and you can't get out here. There's a trap here, and there's a trap here, and there's a trap here.
Mhm.
Guess what that is explained in these books?
It probably is.
It is. It literally is, and you're just like, oh, this is a sci-fi movie. This my cock keeps falling on me.
It is a sci-fi movie. That's why I mean,
It's a sci-fi. So how do you personally do you have like a good like to stay centered because this is heavy shit?
how do I stay centered?
Yeah, do you like you have a good practice? Do you need anything? Like
No.
um
I've been this is me. Like
oh
I'm so like I've been talking about it for so long and it's been such like a hyper fixation because it's so important that like I've gotten to the point where like you tell me something new, it doesn't even surprise me, it doesn't shock me. And I think that's part of how they manipulate people or how they onboard new people is they're trying to take away and strip away your humanity. They're trying to strip away how much you care and stuff. They're not stripping away how much I care, but like they've stripped away the shock value to the point where I'm just like they're fucking evil. We need to go get them. We need to kill them. We need to get rid of them. Sorry, like our morality, our morals and ethics are holding us back from these sociopaths that do not have any morals.
let me repeat.
Yeah.
Step on their graves, neutralize their malicious goals,
Yep.
break control, and awaken your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally what we're talking about. Talking about start your own business over here so that way you're not reliant on their supply chain and then you can kill off this part of it, move your money to the credit union. That way it's you're not reliant on their shit and you're supporting your community. Speak up and inform other people. Don't rely on their little AI ecosystem. Rely on each other, rely on your community. Community is so key and like the strongest communities are full of strong individuals who are self-reliant themselves. Like each person can take care of their own and then some. And we've lost all of those skills. We've lost all of them. Like they
Well,
don't teach us to be self-sufficient. They teach us to be good little worker bees.
right. That's changing. There's a whole bunch of communities like that. There's
Oh yeah,
all around. So it's like that's happening.
it's changing. Like people are waking up to it and they're getting active. They're doing it.
It's like the demons are so bad, and then the communities are rising, and it's like the I feel like we're rising like water, you know? Is
Yeah.
that at the same level, but we're rising collectively, and we'll drown it. I think we can.
That's the thing. We gotta drown the dragons. You gotta
Yeah,
drown them. Yeah. We
or
gotta
rise.
drown them with. We gotta drown them with taking the money away. With like that's the thing. They live off of money. Money is power, and so like if we can keep it out of their hands and keep it in the neighborhoods, if we can keep it out of their hands at the banks, if we can get in the way of it, this one right here of like scheduling sales calls and just filling up their whole sales calendar is such a slept on strategy that like I need to do better at. But there's a ton of people who have free time who could be doing this and it could be making great content out of it. And there are people who do it, but they're not doing it for the Epstein files. They're just doing it to be whatever. But well, I don't know if you know who Grant Cardone is.
Yeah,
He's this like online guru. He's an ultra wealthy pedophilic vampire, I swear. And
yeah.
he sold me their people sold me a course. It was like $5,000, and I was like, nope, it's terrible, it's bad. I want my money back. And so what I did, because they weren't giving me my money back, is the next time they hosted their little webinar that has their little sales calls afterward, I just book. I booked 3 days. I filled up their calendar 3 days. I booked every single one, and that prevented other people who were interested, who they were going to take advantage of, from going and meeting with them and purchasing. And they were like, oh hey, you must be really interested, huh? You must be really excited, you booked so many. I'm like, no, I want my fucking money back. No, I want. And then next person would call, and I'd say it again, I'd say it again, I'd say it again. They got me my money back by the end of the day, because I told them, if you don't do it, I'm gonna do this every fucking week until you give me my money back. You're gonna fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you. And that's where I'm like, all those like AI softwares, all the stuff that they're trying to implement, like just get in the fucking way.
That's genius. You know, it's so funny. It's always 5 grand. I have this thing. It's like around every
Yeah,
corner. Because I take in these courses too, and you could do the free one, or you could do the thing. And around the corner, if you want to speak to the leader, it's
yeah.
$5,000. And so I'm like, oh my god, it's always $5,000. And so
It's because
I
it's
did
your
it.
security deposit. It's like the majority of people, if they have a safety net, it's $5,000. That's why they want that.
So you know what I do in my group? I get you to make $5,000 off of me.
I like that. That's
And it's
cool.
like I have so much stuff. So that's my dare in my groups. I was like, all right, here it is. I've got all this stuff. You can use any of it, have it to make
Hmm.
$5,000. You're like,
Yeah.
what? And it's most people actually cannot accept good things.
No, they've
They're
trained
like,
us to not accept good things.
yeah, they'll like talk their way out of it.
They'll
And
be
then
like, this is too good to be true.
yeah,
This doesn't happen to me. This happens to other people. Yeah, isn't yeah.
I'll be like, your sentence is your sentence. Why don't
Hmm.
you frame that? Like I just
Yeah.
showed, and then a friend, then it did. Like she like made one phone call, introduced me, and then I ended up getting. She got her $5,000, and I wired her. I wired her 5 grand before I got paid because that's fun for me. And
Yeah.
she was, holy shit! And I was like, I know it's $5,000 because I
To
think
somebody who's never made commission before, when they get a check like that, it is like,
fun.
wow. I've had it happen where the biggest check that I've ever received from commissions was $40,000 in one check. And I was just like, wow, this is real. Like this is like you can make sales and commission work and things like that. You can make some serious money, but it just takes so long to get to, and people don't have the funds to sustain their life for the amount of effort and time it's going to take for them to start hitting those checks. Um,
Well,
yeah,
you never know because
you
you could
never
just
know.
put a link in your bio and
But yeah, well, for me specifically, it was the storm restoration stuff, the going out and door knocking, and the insurance process takes months, and so you sign up a job, and it could be 6 months from now that you'll get paid.
right. I'm working on my affiliate program myself to like, and because I started on the ground, like I lost everything because I left Hollywood and I protected my movies for 8 years, and I just
Hmm.
I gave up everything, and so it was like one of those like you're on the floor, and then my my oil took off, and my super rich friend called me, and well, I've one of them that calls me, and he's like, "Wow, Shelton, we've been watching you the movies and your books, and you're such a fighter, and you finally cracked the code with a butt oil."
The butt oil. Yeah, you finally found your thing, and it's butt oil.
Like you get fucked in the ass by Hollywood. Here's your butt oil.
Yeah.
So funny. So
You've been always so obsessed with butts, so now you found it. You just like the oil.
now I'm setting up the affiliate program, but I came on like the flat bottom. Like I was at zero negative. And, I joke like I was running to get the train with the one pant leg on. You're like, oh God! Like it's
Oh
like
yeah, yeah. It's like your pants are falling out. Yeah.
so now I'm setting up to where the affiliates get 20 and some of them 30% and some 40. So that
Hmm.
it's a much bigger cut because my plan, what I can do in my world is to stay totally outside the matrix and then start doing like vats of oil like in your town, your grandma's got one. And then
Hmm.
y'all like, you want refills, go to there. And it's like
Hmm.
and also it's a church. It's like what church used to be, should have been, could have been if they didn't lie about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like actually, oh, look at the last page. It's laughing joyously with angels. This whole
That's
like the end times, this whole like, oh, end times, end times. The end times are scary because it's scary for them.
yes. For
Yeah.
them,
And we are
they
celebrating.
lose all their control at the end times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out.
When we shouldn't even let them have it in the first place.
They're so old and ancient. It's an ugly worm. And
Hmm.
it's old. And so it's like I honestly, it's like we were born for such a time as this. I know it seems like a movie, and I'm like, it's a sci-fi movie, and it's real. And I actually wrote this sci-fi movie when I was in 2019 because I had a little kid. I still have a little kid. She's older now, but when she was itty bitty, she first started talking. I would bring her to the cities, and she'd be like, "Look, mommy, a human." And I was like, "Well, we're all human." And then she did it three again and again. I was like, "Well, we're all human." And she goes, "Mommy, you're so dumb."
What? Why did she think that?
I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And she's like, "Not everybody's human." And I was like, "Okay." And then you go into this stuff, and she's not wrong because your
Yeah,
humanity's
like
when
you're.
you are trading kids and eating them and raping kids, like you're human. Where's your humanity? Where?
I mean, that's the definition of a fucking vampire, though. Like they come in the night, they grab the children, they drink their blood, they torture them, and they like. I mean, every single like villain vampire is like got a pedo vibe to them, and then no, I
They all
think that a lot of folklore, a lot of mythology is like
true.
just taking those
Oh my god.
characteristics of people and making it into these monsters because it's easier for people to understand when you can kind of make it fantastical versus being so direct and so analytical. And that's why another reason why I do this the way I do it is because there's so many people out there who are like, I'm going to read you the exact legislation and the exact laws and exactly how it goes and here's 305C6 and way too much information. And you just kind of go, oh, I can't do it. And then there's other people who, here's the stats, here's all that, and all, and like they're just using way too much terminology and grammar for people to understand. Like one of the biggest things I saw, you have a school account that they teach in. I have his books. Talk at like a third, fourth grade level. A third grader and fourth grader can understand what I'm talking about here and could understand this. When you're going through talking all the legislation, talking about how this LLC with the sub corporation and that and and all that. You're trying to explain it in that way. The fourth and third grader aren't going to understand it. And the majority of people are not going to understand it. People are graduating right now, not being able to write a coherent sentence.
I,
So they like I lie to her like you're LARPing. Oh my gosh, you're such a grifter. You look like you're LARPing. Stop LARPing, bro. And it's like it's why what I talk about works. It's why it vibes with people. It's like why I was able to get to I'm almost at 100,000 followers and I've been doing this for maybe 3 or 4 months now, you know?
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
'Cause you're consistent, right? It's
I'm
good.
consistent too. I was way more consistent in the beginning because I did the 30-day economic strike and I was not working. I was making the content and I still don't get paid for any of this. This is all free. This is all just me doing it. I don't
Yeah.
get paid a dime. I don't have anything you can buy. You can't even like I have a buy me a coffee for people who really want to donate, but like I don't you don't see me on my posts being like donate to me, buy me things, thing like that. I don't do any of that.
Want to. Like if you just
What?
put people want to. So if
Yeah.
if you want to that because honestly my life has been because of the kindness of strangers half the time, you know. I've
Hmm.
raised millions of dollars for organizations and then not had the money to get to the airport. You know,
Right.
I've experienced that too, so I totally get it. And
You're
people
like, I just raised millions of dollars for somebody else, not for me, and now I can't. Like, I can't even buy a coffee. Like,
they
I can't even.
yeah, but, yeah, and I had my own like I don't want to be a part of anything, so you know. But if you put on your profile a way to your wish list, a way to pay you, your no, and not ask, so just because people love it, like they appreciate you so much, especially survivors. You
Yeah,
never know. It's like you might,
I've got $300 donated to me.
but you know, you
That's
could
it.
sell a how-to guide, like a little PDF of like how to start your economics, like a thing, just for your own.
Yeah, it's on my it's a free website. It's on my link in my bio. It's there. I direct people to it. I don't want like I don't want to profit off of people's anguish and I don't want people to look at my page and be like, he's just trying to make money off of these people getting raped and killed and
I
eaten
appreciate
and all that. I it's the last thing I want. The biggest thing for me is I want to build trust with people and I want them to take action. I want them to start becoming self-sufficient. I want them to start, thinking about when you're buying something, who am I benefiting? Am I benefiting a ultra wealthy pedophilic vampire or am I benefiting a real person? Like it's so important. And so yeah, now there's the buy me a coffee thing. If you're gonna donate, don't donate to a Republican candidate or Democrat candidate that's taking APAC money. Don't donate to them. You can donate to me. You could donate to them. And there's other people I tell people too. I'm like, if you see somebody who is like doing the right thing and they have a shirt, go and go and buy the shirt from their website. Go and
that.
support them. Like we need to really be supporting the people who are standing up and putting it out there, putting themselves out there. Like, your content could be like could put you in danger. My content could definitely put me in danger. Like, but we're doing it because somebody's got to do it. Somebody's
You
got
know,
to be the people out there.
I saved one of those kids. I had one of those kids at my house, and she had been trafficked, and thank Lord Jesus she was 18 because I they were trying to turn around and get me on kidnapping.
Mm.
Like that they and so she had been contacting me through because of my documentary and telling me all the stuff like her parents, like the whole thing. They sold her. She was part of the whole thing. And I, being naive, and also had Bikers Against Child Abuse, like I had Baca, like gonna take her and relocate her and like the whole thing.
Mhm.
And that was scary because she was at my house and I have witnesses there and she stole my phone and called her dad. And
Because
he
she probably hasn't talked to him in
no,
who knows how long.
no, that was her. That was who she escaped from. She's programmed. It's like these people are so
Oh,
super MK Ultra program. Like
yeah.
she was programmed to like bring herself back. And that guy showed up at my house. There was the devil at my house for real. Like the like high up in the trafficking world showed up at my freaking house and I saw the devil. I mean, it was like the black eyes. It was like, it was all of it. It was like, oh my God, in the most upstanding, totally starched dude. He was like starched shirt, khaki pants. Like he was perfectly put together, perfect hair, perfect
Yeah,
shave. He was so perfect. He was serial killer perfect.
yeah.
And
You're like, something's wrong with this guy. Like there's no flaws. This is what's going on.
his eyes flashed black. I'm not kidding. I saw. I was like, what? It was one of those like, did I just see what I saw? And the cops were lined all around because they were going to get me on kidnapping, and they had to go get her out of there. And he was like, I want my daughter back. And I saw it with my own eyes that that was a zombie. That was not her. That was not the girl I talked to. She was
Yeah,
literally a programmed zombie. It's one of those, you can't believe it unless you see it yourself, you know? And I'm
right.
like, holy Jesus. That
It
was so,
breaks your heart though when you see it.
oh my God. And also, there's a lot of it, like, there's a lot you just can't do on some levels because it's like, it's so dark. Like, the whole thing is so dark that it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, now we've been, I don't know if you've seen it, but like earlier when you were talking about confronting your dad and how you were like yelling at him with the video and you had the evidence and you went to the cop and they said, "Oh yeah, we're going to go remind." There's been people who are, pedophile chasers out there. That's their whole Instagram is they're online trying to catch these guys and they'll confront them out in public and they're taking them to the police, like to their office and being like, here's all this evidence on his phone, and here's evidence that we have of him sending and talking to a minor, and they've met, they were meeting for sex and whatever, and the cops go, yeah, okay, well, get out of here. Get out of here. What? Arrest him. Nah, we can't do anything with that information. What do you mean you can't do anything with that information? Also, he's self-confessing it. He's standing here right now self-confessing.
can't do anything because of your wall.
Because you're one of these fucks.
Mhm.
You're in it. You're in on it.
Yes.
I don't know how much more clear that we can be that like we don't have accountability in this government, in the Department of Justice, in this, and like we need to be the accountability. And part of it is where you move your money. There's also a job out there that is actually in really in need, and I wanted to talk about. It's called court reporting, and it makes about 60 to $100,000 a year. It takes 1 year to get trained in on it, and you show up to courts, you listen in, and then later on, like you make notes and you whatever. You're not a stenographer. You're not typing super fast. You're just listening, and then you're reporting what happened, and you're essentially holding judges accountable. And there's such a shortage of this that they only happen in criminal court cases where well we need enough people to come in and do this so that way they have them to go to the civil court cases because the civil court is where these fuckers are and they rub shoulders at the country club with the judges and they go, oh well, I want to make sure I see my friend at the country club next week. I'm going to give him a light sentence. I'm only going to give him a fine. I'm just not going to do anything. And there's nobody there to hold them accountable because we don't have enough of court reporters. So I'm actually looking into potentially starting my training and getting involved in that because then I would learn law and legislation. I'd be able to hold these people accountable and fight for Narnia a little bit more. And then like hopefully inspire other people to do it. And if it's such an in need job and all these people are like, I'm broke, I can't make any money, it's like, here you go.
That's
A
great.
year's gonna go by either way, right? A year's gonna go by.
Good
You
points.
might as well spend that time learning how to hold these fuckers accountable so you can hold so that we can get enough people to hold these people accountable in the courts. Just one way. And then there's the starting the business, there's doing that, there's the credit union stuff and like working for an employee owned businesses. Like we have way more power than we realize. It's just that I think a lot of people are either lazy, they simply just don't know what they don't know, and that's fine. or was that drinking? They're are full of creepy weirdo poisons, and if they could just, you know, say, hey, oh, now I know, I'm gonna take action. I'm gonna get off my ass. I'm gonna go do it. That's what we need people to do. That's what I try to show all the time. Is
So
me
what
saying, I don't know this, but you know what? I'm gonna get off my ass. I'm gonna go fucking learn it. I'm gonna do it. My bathroom, they wanted $10,000 for that tub, and I've been working on it, and I've been learning. I'm learning how to solder copper. I tore out all the tile. I took the cast iron tub out. I'm like having to do like drywall work and trim work, and I've done that before. Like I've done plumbing, I've done with PEX and things, but like it took effort and time to learn. But because of that, I have saved so much money, and I've been able to, because I've saved all that money, I've gotten to get a lot farther in life. And I hope that other people just start realizing, like, they say my time's worth something though. You know, why don't you pay $10,000 so you can go and have fun and whatever? How long does it take to save up $10,000? It takes some people years to save up $10,000 versus me learning it and getting it done in a month. And it's and I've saved 9,000. I've only had to spend 1,000. Like,
nice.
people don't realize that when you swipe that credit card or you put that thing on a loan, you are actually giving up more of your time than you are by just doing it yourself. And I don't think enough people realize that. So, yeah.
What would be your first thing with like your random like, oh my God, are you telling me they really are eating babies? If I shouldn't eat at McDonald's and
Yeah.
Walmart, what's
My
your
my my very first thing is the what you watch. Like, you if you're sitting there at home and you have a Netflix, a Hulu, a Paramount Plus, a Disney Plus, all those subscription services, that is every month they're taking money from you. And when you buy a movie on Amazon Prime, well, next month, oh, well, that's not on Amazon Prime anymore. Now that's on Paramount Plus, and you got to go buy it again. And then you go buy it, and then they go, oh, it's not on Paramount Plus anymore. Now it's on Hulu, and you got to go buy it again. And it's like you are just bleeding, hemorrhaging money. How much is a Hulu subscription? How much is it? Add them all up. You're looking at about like $250, $300 a month if you have all of the subscriptions. If you cancel all of that, and I'm gonna go grab it.
oh your thing? What's it called?
Yeah,
I want to get one of
and
those.
it is made by a Jewish company, but they are not Israel. And Jews are not the problem. It's Zionists. It's a VC box. This little box,
Okay.
VSEE box,
Mm-mm.
has everything. Every channel, international channels, on-demand movies, on-demand TV shows. It had like I have not been like I've never been stumped. Like, people have asked, well, does it have this? Well, does it have that? It does, but you have to put in the title exactly the way it is. It doesn't do like did you mean? It doesn't have the did you mean function. But you buy it once, you plug it in, you connect it to Wi-Fi, and you get everything.
Is
So
it?
it was $300,
Are they
and
pirate?
I've had I again, like, I've saved so much money by just implementing this one little thing, and that's taken away so much revenue from them, so much
Interesting.
revenue.
Pirating movies?
Pirating movies, like with this little box, there's a click and point. That's one thing because it's so simple. It is so simple. It's so easy.
I am a filmmaker, so I'm like
Yeah.
with it's like, oh man, but I
Oh,
will tell you, with all of those subscriptions, the filmmaker doesn't get a dollar, nothing.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
a
obviously, like, yeah, like if we got to the point where it wasn't benefiting these people, I would hope that people would pay for it or like go to the movie theaters and stuff like that. But like taking your time back and like taking like just stopping that bleed. If you buy this one time and you were spending $300 a month, just over a year, 12 times 300. right? $3,600 um, that you spent on subscriptions in a year, where you could have bought this one time and had everything.
And for the independent filmmakers like myself that you don't get $1 of that. If
Yeah,
you find an independent movie, not the big movies,
yeah.
but independent movie that you really like, the best thing is to go find the filmmaker, find the writer, find the director, and buy them a coffee or
Oh,
send them a t-shirt because they didn't
yeah,
get $1.
yeah.
I said,
Okay.
so
So I know maybe not for everybody. The second one is like not just going and taking your money and like wire transferring it to a credit union, like go into the bank that you have and tell them that you want your money because you don't want pedophiles touching it. Go and do that. I did that. I walked in with a duffel bag and I said, oh, well, you guys are owned by JP Morgan, who paid out $290 million to the survivors of the human sex trafficking ring. And I don't want those pedophiles touching and playing with my money. So I want all of my money cash today. And they ended up giving me $30,000 cash and then another $20,000 as a cashier's check because they didn't
they didn't have
have the cash. They didn't have it. I
it.
drained them. I emptied out their little safe over there for one day on my own, and I moved it.
You're my hero. You're my
And
hero.
so that was a big thing.
That's
That's huge because you're you're saying it out into the world. I am not promoting these people. You're also confronting them. I know it's like, oh, they just work there and whatever, but they're part of them. Because they work there, they enable it. And then so now you've got the confidence of saying, I can go up and I can say I don't want to support that. Go say it at the city council meeting. Go say I don't want fucking flock cameras. I don't want pedophile cameras around my town. I don't want these data centers that are enabling them to kill people and to have all this mass surveillance shit. Like, just keep using your voice, and then yeah, go over here and do this one, and go out there and do public speaking. Like, it all builds off of starting with just taking your money back and supporting local businesses. One person said, "What a privilege it is to not have to shop at a Walmart, Amazon, or Target." They said that I was privileged because I don't shop there.
what?
And I'm like, I go to the food bank now and the food shelf now, and then I get hundreds, like they literally are throw away hundreds of pounds of food a week at the food shelter here. And so like they're like, please take more, take it. Like that. And so I took what I could, and then I go to my co-op and my farmers market and I fill in the blanks for the recipes. So I've saved a ton of money so that way then I can go support them. And like, it's this the donations are coming from Cub Foods, Walmart, Target. Uh, they're coming from Kowalski's. They're coming from Quick Trip. They're coming from all these local grocery stores are donating to this food shelf, and they're getting tax credits. They're getting write-offs, and then that food's just getting thrown away anyway. So, like just go get it. It's free. It's there. If your food shelf is empty and you don't have access to it, I get that. Okay, fine. But like some of you are just, and I'm not talking to you, but like some people out there are just too proud to go. They're like, I'm not poor. Oh, I don't need that. I don't need the. It's like you literally are complaining about how you can't afford groceries. Go and get them for free. Do it. So
That's a good
people
one.
are just too proud. And then start learning how to garden, start learning how to do that stuff. You can grow mushrooms in a bucket for $20. You can grow green onions by just saving the end of the onion when you cut it off, and you'll have, like, I've had green onions like crazy right now. You can grow
I did. There was
beans in a windowsill, you know?
excuse me, I got a booger.
Yeah, you're fine.
We're real. We're real around here.
Yeah, we real.
You know what I started doing?
Huh.
A huge, like, life changing for me with the money was part of my trauma having to get over was being starved in foster care.
Hmm.
And being starved was like worse than the sexual abuse for me. I just like there was something about being starved issue that I didn't realize I had until I really started like paying attention to what I did with my time and what I put in my mouth. Whenever I got money, I would go and I would spend like $400 or $500 at the grocery store and just like fill up my
Hmm.
cart. So I'd fill up my refrigerator and I'd fill up my pantry so that I felt good.
Yeah.
It felt good to have a full refrigerator. And
Hmm.
I'm a big girl now and I can have a full refrigerator. And I didn't realize that was it was a subconscious need to feel like safe.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, look at all the money I'm spending. Look at, so I was studying the men. I was like, look at your money, look at your time. And I was like, all that money. And then this went bad and this went bad. And I didn't actually eat
Yeah.
that thing. And what are you really doing with it? And then I went back to the 1800s and my grandma and like learning stuff, like learning how to like make stuff. And I started canning.
Yeah.
And then I started canning. I learned canning, which is really simple. It's like they keep it from us. It's like it's so hard. It's not. It's really easy. And I started canning meat, like a big, huge. Like I'll take a roast and I do like the whole
Yeah.
like a delicious roast meal. A really good cook. And I started canning this, and then all my cabinets are now full of this really like amazing.
Hmm.
It filled my subconscious desire to be safe. I fixed it by learning a skill, by saving money, and now my cabinets are full of like amazing meals.
Yeah.
And then my Uncle Toby called me. He's like, "I heard you're canning meat," and I was like, "Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. If we're in a bunker, I do not want applesauce and red.
Yeah.
I want like a stew." And he
I
goes,
don't
"Well,
want a bunch of MRIs or whatever.
yeah."
Yeah.
He goes, "We never can meat," and I was like, "Why not?" He's like, takes too long." And I was like, "Well, how long is it to can?" And he's like, "About an hour." I'm like, "What is it to can meat?" "About an hour and a half."
Yeah.
What? Like I just therein lies the issue right
Versus we're just gonna throw it out
there. Yeah.
and then
But
have to go buy it, and it's like, okay, how much did it cost you to buy it? Well, about an hour's worth of work.
yeah, it was like what? So you save so you save time. Yeah. So I started going on really drives to go get
Yeah.
I layered up my time. Like so when you go on a drive in the nature, it's beautiful. You go to the farmers market, it's beautiful. You meet people and you're out in the world. That's amazing.
Yep. Grow your community.
And then you save money and it's like you cover all bases. It's awesome.
Yeah. I learned how to pickle.
Awesome.
I've been pickling. So it's similar to canning, right? It's jarring canning. They're very similar.
And doing the freeze dry, like I do dry, like I'll make my own jerky and then I put them in
Yes.
freeze dry bags.
Yeah.
So things like that. It's like then you're prepared and you're smart and you save money and it's fun.
And yeah, it's a skill. It's fun. It's something different. And like then you go, hey guys, I have this new beef jerky recipe. Not trying to do an Epstein quote there, but I got this new recipe. And you can actually like, yeah. I was still thinking we need to do billboards. Anyway,
Honestly,
um,
Z-Man, who you'll meet, Zachary, who's my plant man, who's just the coolest dude ever. He's like, why don't we just have the guys print out the Epstein files and just start littering the cities with it? Just like boop boop boop, like
did
on
you see
all.
that guy that got went had a court case because he had an Easter egg hunt with the Epstein files?
Oh my god.
He did an Easter egg hunt. He put the files in Easter eggs around town, and then they took him to court because of it.
Why?
I I don't know. It got dismissed, but like it was this big thing.
What blows my mind is that no one has been exposed. I mean, since no one has been exposed, or no one, y'all, have you figured it out yet? Like they're all
Mark Tramo. Mark Tramo is on a file saying, "Oh, there's going to be an abundance of young pussy flesh. Come to class. There's 6 and 7 year olds, 30 of them, but I promise an abundance of young pussy flesh." Mark Tramo. Name is out there. Not redacted. Nothing. Just boom, right there. The fuck?
for real
What do you mean there's nobody implicated? There's nobody.
because they're in on it. They're in on it.
Yeah. Well, it's.
So
I just. Yeah, they're in on it. They don't. If they start prosecuting people, then they're going to have to prosecute everybody, right? They can't just do one. And Trump is got to be. Like, I heard somebody say that that there was something about him killing puppies. And then there was the one about how there was a tent pole kicked up his ass because and that's why he wears diapers.
What?
And because Trump liked stuff up his ass. He likes butt stuff. And one time one of the people that he abused, Sasha Riley, um he felt comfortable enough with Sasha Riley to be like, all right, now you do me. I've done you enough. You do me. Because it was Sasha Riley's a boy. I know the name kind of sounds feminine, but then Sasha found a tent stake instead of his dick and put that up in there. And fucking kicked it. And that's why Trump wears a fucking diaper. He can't control his fucking bowels. He's worn a diaper for years.
What?
This is all out there. This is all out there. This is all stuff that's just we it's out there. People know about it. It's been documented and it's like been factually backed up. There's stuff out there that like you can just point to being like, what do you mean? Right here. Right here.
What? And then Biden coming out with a panda and then kissing a baby dressed up like a chicken. Do you know what that
What was
meant?
that one? I don't remember that one.
Yeah, for Halloween, he walked out of the White House with Jill dressed in a panda outfit, and then he walked over and somebody was holding a baby dressed like a chicken, and that right there was a ritual that he was letting you
Yeah.
know that he panda eyes kids, and that he's a part of the.
He panda eyes kids?
Oh God, do you know
What does
about
that mean?
So sorry,
I don't
dude.
know about that.
You do. So when they violently sodomize these kids, all of the capillaries in their eyes burst, and it looks like they have like little black masks, and
Yeah.
they look like pandas, and that's why they call panda eyes. And for him to walk out with a panda, that was his ritualistic statement that that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and then with the baby dressed up as the chicken, chicken fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually fuck chickens, like actually, and then they call babies chickens.
Yeah.
That's their little code word.
I think yeah.
It's like next level sick, and I'm of the radiant light of God. I'm with the animals and the kids. I don't play with this. I do not play with this. But we
I
have
just
to.
don't understand how we can't how like when I talk to my local government here and I brought up the files, I was like, it's like, have any of you actually like sat down, read, learned dictations, and understand what's going on? They go, no, that's not that's not my level. That's not my jurisdiction. I'm like, it doesn't have to be your jurisdiction. You could just do it as a person, like I did, and I'm here, like literally looking schizophrenic. I'm schizomaxing over here because I'm trying to yeah. I'm like, you just have to like do a little bit, but people just don't they don't want to believe it. They don't want it to be true. They rather cower, hide, shove it under the bed. Somebody else is gonna have to come back and take care of it for them. Somebody sent me a thing today that 1% of the 1% of the population rules the world. 4% of the population min, uh, it manipulates the world, and then there's 5% who are awake, and 4% of that 5% are being really manipulated by those people too. So it's like 90% are asleep. When you break it down, like you're down to like just like there's just 1% of the population who's awake and willing to actually take action.
Yep.
And I think that that's very true.
It's the real aware men, and I love me some women too, but it's the real men who are gonna knock down the doors.
It's kind of sad that like when I go to a lot of these activism events and things, it's mostly women showing up.
Yeah.
It's mostly women showing up. And then I hate to say it, but it's a lot of feminine men, a lot of really feminine men who are full of rage and like, but like, sorry, like they're a lot of them. I don't think are going to be the ones to do the things that need to be done. And it's because all the real men are like, oh, peaceful's never gonna do anything. I want war. I want this. I want explosions. I want all this stuff to happen. And it's not gonna just it's not gonna just happen. Like you're not gonna be walking down the street one day and be like, oh hey, it's happening. Oh here, I'm gonna get involved now. Like no, you gotta show up to things. Because like if you don't show up to the things and then it happens, you're missing out and we need you to be there.
For
Like
real.
that's why when I see like the people over at the detention centers, like Delaney, I really respect those people. Those are real men over there at Delaney Hall. Those are real men who are out there doing those things. And you know, I can't just travel the country and and join up with them. I don't have the support system for me to keep my house, for me to sustain that over there. So like I try to support them how I can, but and I'm trying to do what I can with what I have, where I have it, while I have it. You know, and that's and a lot of people need to do that too.
And also, I will offer you, because this is my forte. You don't know. You might like hit some windfall. You know what I mean? You might get some job, or like you might get like some, 40 grand comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, seriously, the commissions and stuff.
All right.
That's what I was thinking about doing the court reporting. Just to start holding people accountable, holding that thing accountable on. But where I'm talking about with a couple of followers who might want to move in and then help with the house, help build the homestead, help get ahead, help do activism stuff, and that way it's like a creator house but an activism house, and that way we can really like start doing real things because everybody's so separated. It's so
Coming,
hard.
they're coming together.
What?
We're coming together.
We are coming together, but it's like
Sentence is our sentence.
sentences are. It's everyone's just so far away from each other. We're coming together.
We're coming together. You are the spiritual authority. Just you in your arena, just you standing there, being present and knowing this, and like your energy. I feel tingle in the back of my head talking about it. Like just your energy is what emanates out.
Hmm.
Then you'll also attract yourself a lady.
Yeah, my girlfriend, my ex girlfriend, we were together for about 4 years, and she constantly told me how bad Trump was and how this and that, and I was really checked out. And then when Alex Preddy got shot, I was waking up, and then the Epstein files came out, and I saw all this stuff, and I started being like, okay, we're figuring out what we got to boycott. We're figuring out what we got to do. We figuring out, and then she wouldn't do any of it. She wouldn't do any of it. She still had the Netflix, the Hulu, the Paramount. She had all those things, even though I had a VC box, and we would watch that. And I like bought her one. She still had all those subscriptions. She would still go to Target. She would still go to Starbucks. She'd still do all those things, but then she'd show up and be like, "Yeah, this is all fucked up and crazy and whatever." It's just like you're not really participating if you're just talking. You need to like take real action. That's why I made that video being like, poser, put a finger down. Um, and it
I
got
think
to the
the
point that we
amount of
had to we had to split because I was getting so involved in this and she wasn't willing to keep up with any of it and do any of it. All she wanted to do is complain, and she was holding me back from doing a lot of this stuff. Um, so anyway, yeah. Huh?
demons,
The
demons,
demons? Yeah.
demons. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I'm gonna do this what they took out of the Bible, and then I'm gonna do it like you did. Like here's our lesson. Step one:
Yeah.
they removed this, that he
Seriously.
was the spiritual authority of demons. Okay, and then they put 365 demons on women.
Here are the first 10 of them. And you can talk about them. You can just break them down. Here's what all these demons that are happening to you.
Are distraction, chaos, confusion, uh, dis delay, and destitution. So there's women who show and watch, like it's kind of, that's why I recommend watching that movie Dark City.
Hmm.
See, like we're kind of on a switchboard energetically, And then when one of us lights up, like you're gonna finally do, you're gonna finally like you're gonna write that book, or you're about to go
Mhm.
meet somebody special that's gonna help you do this, their little antennas go up, and they're like, go in and create drama. And that's when all of a sudden you'll see like, oh, you're about to go off and do something. All of a sudden your ex shows up with like a dead cat or something, or like issue, or like some drama, or your
No,
mom.
yeah, she
And
was making up drama left and right on me all the time.
it's actually an Excel spreadsheet. Like I want to do like a whole system. I'm gonna do a whole series of like, I know why your girlfriend's crazy.
You honestly should, and I think you'd be better coming from a woman than coming from a guy,
Yeah, of
you
course.
know, because if a guy goes and tries to do that, misogynistic woman hater piece of shit incel something or another, they're gonna label him with all this stuff. Not that they won't label you with some stuff. You're gonna get hate too,
I
but
don't care because I've already had that I've already spent 20 years of my life with the trying to talk to the ladies. And then I did my own Excel spreadsheet. I was like, wait a second. They never spend any money and they never support me, but they take up all the time. They have all the questions. They have all the drama. They have all the chaos. And then I read this and I was like, oh, and
it's
then,
all making sense.
oh my God, it all makes sense.
Yes.
And it's like it makes sense why they left it out, and it makes sense why none of them's being accountable, and it makes sense why it
Yeah,
all goes back to one space. And y'all have all, because you and a lot of men are aware of that it's Israel, right?
yeah,
And then it's further, it goes to the crown.
yeah. It goes to the Rothschilds. It goes to those whatever things like four families. It goes to the Catholic Church. It goes
Yeah, to the church and the crown.
the crown and the yeah.
It really goes that far. I really, for your fun, for your own entertainment, please watch this movie RRR.
Yeah.
You seen it?
Send them over to me. Dark City,
Oh,
RRR, and then there was like
oh,
something else.
RRR is the best movie I've ever seen in my life. It's so good. It's what men do when they take the kids in the land. There, I said it.
What
This is
men do
what
when they
men
take the
what
kids in
children
the land.
do when the bad guy takes the kids and the land. There you go. That's that movie.
Okay.
Venture, it's so great. It's like it's a real, and I make movies and it's like it's a real movie star. I was like, that's a movie star.
Yeah.
It's a Bollywood movie. It's Indian guys. It's but it is
Hmm.
fantastic. It's fantastic because they take that shit down. They take it down. And
Yeah.
do it in, they do it in such a way that you're like, oh my God. Can you, can you do it that way? Do it like that.
Yeah.
Bring it out. It's so inspiring because this can get really depressing.
Yeah. They
It can
do.
get, especially when you're alone and you have your beer and then you think you read another one and then nobody gets caught, and then you got a crazy girlfriend. Like the dudes that I talk to, you can go spiral and spiral, and then they're gonna kill themselves.
Yeah.
So
And
I've been
it's
for
the
many years talking to the men like, I love you, don't kill yourself, and
hmm
I'll introduce you to your friends, and then probably you know I've introduced a lot of people who end up falling in love too, because
cool.
the healthy people and the healthy people can meet.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you can't talk to her because she's fucking crazy. I have
Seriously.
to prove it up. Stay, stay away from that one. By the way, in all my travels, because I travel a lot, speaking to all kinds of groups, the worst, the craziest ones, the craziest, batshit craziest ones, guess what they became?
What?
Therapists.
Yeah, because they're becoming what they need.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, so it's like, oh my God, okay. I'm like, huh.
And honestly, I've tried the therapy thing several times, and I always just feel like you show up and you vent, and then they charge you a couple $100.
Now that I know
And
about what I know, it's
it's
your,
not as helpful, and it's just kind of like this perpetual circle, and there's got to be a better way,
there,
right? Like,
there's like fast ways. There's fast ways like to like wire your body and it's your nervous system.
hmm
It's like rewiring your nervous system. There's all kinds of fun ways, and there's like nature ways to like just rewire.
Mm-hmm.
instead of like talking about it for 25 years with one of those fuckers.
Yeah. One of these fucking.
But you're gonna lay on the sofa with one of those dudes and like tell them your story all day? No, thank you. So I appreciate you, man. I love you. Whatever
Love
I
you
can do.
too.
I'm in. I'm gonna stop recording, and
Yeah.
I appreciate you, and I'll put this up in my school and introduce you to others, and I'll send it to you, and we can.
Yeah. If you can send it to me, then I can try to maybe find some clips and edit a couple things in, and it'd be cool.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you. Stop recording.